The Lyra high gain antenna from its deployed position, and commands are being sent to reposition that antenna 90 degrees into its so-called launch position, the same orientation in which it launched with the Zvezda service module back in 2000. This will provide the spacewalkers the access they need to begin the demating of connectors for the electronics box associated with this antenna.
Volodya, so I rehooked. I'm now on the rail number 2632. It's circumferential, and I can see the base of the antenna. Sasha, what is your position? I'm on the rail 2613. It is also circumferential, and I'm now resecure the KPU onto myself, on my spacesuit. Okay, so are you ready to monitor the honor movement? Can we issue a command? Well, yes. I am off, okay, from the antenna. So I'm ready. Sasha, so secure it with a winch. All right, let's do in the correct order. Right now, I'm in the position to control the honor movement. This is Sasha. And after the movement, I will transition to the winch. Copy, Sasha.
The ONA antenna, referred to by the interpreter at the Russian Mission Control Center, is the Cyrillic acronym for the high-gain antenna that soon will be commanded to its launch position, basically vertical up and down. That will give the two spacewalkers the access they need to begin the demating of electrical connectors for the electronics box that governs the operation of that high-gain antenna. We're approaching the 90-minute mark into today's planned 6.5-hour spacewalk.
Антон Николаевич, хотел?
Anton, are you there? How are you? I'm fine.
Что-то под тобой такой свет. Толкил, что ли?
Inaudible.
Так, ждем.
Okay, we're standing by.
Так, на полчаса позже идем по графику.
Actually, we are lagging 30 minutes behind, but it's okay. We should move on smoothly.
Что-то шумит, слышишь?
Can you hear the noise, Sasha?
У нас тоже что-то шумит.
No, I don't see any. I don't hear any noise.
Ребята сейчас готовят команду.
Guys, the command is ready. This is Vladimir.
Я вам сообщу.
And as soon as it is sent, I will tell you. Copy.
Саша, а ты доложишь, когда он дойдет до узлов фиксации, коснется.
And Sasha, could you please report when the ONA antenna reaches the unit where it should stop?
Standing by for the commands from the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside Moscow to reposition the high-gain antenna, the Lyra high-gain antenna, down to its launch position that will be perpendicular, vertical up and down relative to the aft end of the service module, setting the stage for the start of the demating of the electronics box for that antenna. The Russian flight controller is now saying that the crew is running a few minutes behind the timeline, nothing of any significance at this point, with some of that time expected to be made up once the work begins to demate the old electronics box for that high-gain antenna.
По нашим данным пошла.
So according to our telemetry, it should be moving. Yes, we have a visual. It is moving.
Принято.
Copy. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong antenna. This is Anton. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong antenna. This is Sasha. We'll see. No. I can see this is Anton. Yes, it is moving slowly. I confirm.
The Russian flight controllers say it will take about 3 minutes for this antenna to slowly move to a vertical position from its deployed position. The position that it will arrive at is called the launch position. That is the same orientation for that antenna at the time it was launched with the Zvezda service module in July of 2000.
Okay, so I'm translating closer to you. Anton, could you please stop there? Hold on. Yes, because you will have to work with the range again. Yes, it is reached the restraint fixture unit. Okay, now it is in the launch position. I mean, the antenna is in the launch position. Copy that. What about contact, Vladimir? So we confirm the contact.
And 1 hour 34 minutes into the spacewalk, the antenna is now in the position it needs to be in to allow Mazurkin and Shkaplerov to begin the process of demating all of these connectors and cables for the old electronics box.
Okay, so I'm transitioning to the winch. You know, it is now, it has moved, and I have to secure it from the different side. Okay?
Антон.
Anton,
Теперь тебе надо
go ahead.
тем же фиксатором флажок перевести в положение рабочее.
Now you will have to move the tab to the rubber operational position. Okay, now you know I secured myself right now. This is Anton.
Володя.
Vladimir.
Установил.
I have
Принято, Антон.
Рабочая положение.
set the retainer on the boom base into the RUB operational position. Copy. Now we have a request.
Фиксатор. Закрываешь.
So you remove the restrainer,
Делаешь контрольное положение.
retrieve GoPro camera, and take,
В темноте получится?
try to take a picture. Do you think it will be okay during the eclipse? But actually, I think there is enough light with your
Хорошо, сейчас попробуем.
lights on the helmet. All right, I will try that.
Фаят постоянно двинуть скафандра на другой не глаз зацеплять. Посмотри на кольцо EVA.
Sasha, please try to find a ring
Или можно его
somewhere.
третий файл фиксации, но там поручни у тебя поблизости.
Maybe you can find a rail not far from the restraint fixture unit, and you will be able to secure using this ring or this rail.
Антон, напоминаю.
Anton, a reminder.
Нажимаешь кнопочку включения, удерживаешь секунду-два, отпускаешь и наблюдаешь за индикатором.
Okay, so please press the button on the GoPro and
Принято.
repress it for a few seconds and monitor the indicator. A copy
Ребята, и сейчас
in work.
сделаем паузу минутки на 3-4 для одного и для другого. Просто
And
постоянно.
guys, let us rest
GoPro выключено.
3 or 4 minutes, both of you, and GoPro is deactivated. Copy.
А я и так стоял все это время.
I'm actually, I did not move all this time anyway, so I was resting.
КПУ застраховано за кольцевой поручень 26-13.
So the KPO is restrained to the circumferential rail 2613 and also on my spacesuit.
Большие укладки.
Copy.
На парабине лебедки ты поставил фиксатор парабина в положение лок?
Лок поставил.
And is the position of the lock on the winch in the position locked? Yes, it is in the position locked. Copy.
Антон, как у тебя самочувствие?
Anton, how are you feeling?
Прекрасно.
I'm feeling great.
Не
Я
прохладно?
пытаюсь пойти на круговые, значит, первый поручень
Okay, the first
27-30.
railing that I secured to was 2733. The second one, 34, and I will go a little bit lower
Внимательно перемещай.
now. Okay, copy.
Саша, ты за фиксатором пошел, да?
Sasha, you are going to do to retain the restrainer. Yes, that's correct. Restrainer. Copy.
Так, нахожусь недалеко от фиксатора, поручни 27-45, 27-46.
So I am not far from the restrainer, and the rails are 2745 and 2746.
За разные поручни в этой зоне, да?
Copy. So your hooks are secured to different rails. Yes, the ones that I have already reported. Copy.
Антон, оцени, тебе есть сейчас необходимость переходить на лебедку, или у тебя досягаемость обеспечивается фазами?
So do you need to transition to the winch, or you have enough
Фиксатора, наверное, короткого не хватит. А может, хватит.
freedom of movement,
Лебедка-то удобно.
to get to the restrainer?
Ты переходишь на страховку любовь.
Well, it's not enough. Then could you please transition to the secure with the help of a winch?
Там, где
Yes, I will do that.
короткий, да? Могу, например, за тот же поручень. 27,
Можешь за
46.
So can I use the same rail, 2746? Yes, you can use that one, or you can use the previous one, the one that before that. All right, copy.
После фиксации карабина закроешь фиксатор, положение лодки переведешь.
So after you secure the hook, you will move it to a different position. Copy.
Перевел положение лог.
Now it is in the position lock. Copy. Антон?
Сала можешь снять и фиксировать на кольцо на скафандре.
So the hook of your short tether should be secured on your spacesuit. Okay, sounds good.
Саша, рассказывай, коромысло подается?
Sasha, could you please provide the report? What about the beam?
У нас ответной части может
Did you reach it? Yes, and it actually is moving slightly. Say again.
Оно совмещается с кронштейном на...
So do they align with the bracket? I mean, the restraint fixture beam and the bracket. I understood your question.
Не совмещаю.
No, they are not exactly aligned.
В этом случае либо Антон должен поджать Антону,
Well, Anton might help you in this case.
либо он должен коромысло удерживать, надавливать.
Inaudible.
Если он поставит антенну, будет прекрасно. Скажем? Да. Богатырская сила.
Yes, I will use my great force Here.
Сейчас, Саш, подожди.
Sasha, stand by one, please. Don't be in a hurry, Anton.
Это много, Антон.
Anton, this is too much.
Это много, даже
This is too much. So, in which direction should I move it? I cannot see it from here. From the station,
Сейчас, подожди, не телепай.
stand by one, please, Anton. Don't be in a hurry. Of course, I don't see it very clearly.
Вот станции, на меня, на тебя.
So, in what direction? Pull it, push it, in what direction? I will tell you everything, Anton, don't be in a hurry.
Да, я займу позицию.
Let me find a good position.
Антенну надо маленько от станции.
Anton should push it from the station a little bit. This is too much.
Она не входит.
Inaudible.
Погоди,
Stand by one.
держу.
I am holding it.
А можешь отпустить, Антон?
Can you release it?
Я ее практически...
Anton, actually, I am not holding it right now.
Владимир Григорьевич.
Vladimir, this is Sasha. Go ahead.
Так, у нас с вами два места, куда она должна зайти.
So we have
Уловитель,
two positions where it should go.
во-первых, плоскости, правильно?
It's the first plane, correct?
Совпасть с коромыслом.
And it should be aligned with the beam on the second plane. Now it is on the first plane, and
По ходу вращения еще чуть-чуть
I guess it should be moved a little bit off from the station.
получится, Антон.
So I guess that's the correct plan. Anton, will you be able to help with it?
Так, нет, на сантиметр дальше.
Now 1 centimeter more, Anton.
Погоди, переведи.
Stand by one.
Богатырский.
No, just wait a little bit, breathe.
Давай попробуем вместе ее просто посадить.
Now let's do it together.
Надо. О, почти.
It's almost there,
Да ничего не вижу.
but I cannot see anything.
Я просто не вижу. Что там делаешь? Сажаем ее. Что понятно.
Okay, so we are moving it in this direction. Copy.
Там, где проволокой подвязывать, если резервный вариант. Оп.
Yeah, we can use the wire tie. Will you be able to hold it in this position?
Ну, вот так.
Right, like this.
Я погляжу получше.
Let me see a little bit closer.
Сейчас.
Если я правильно понял, ты предлагаешь резервный вариант использовать для посадки.
Go at it, go at it.
Что?
So what did you say, Vladimir?
Ты знаешь, она так держаться не будет. Через чего она так будет?
Sasha, you know, it won't, stay there. Yes, I understand.
Владимир Григорьевич, еще раз скажи, что хотите.
Vladimir, say again what you want us to do.
Я говорю, ты предлагаешь сразу на резервный переходить или будешь с фиксатором пробовать?
Inaudible.
Нет, пока еще чуть-чуть сейчас попробуем.
Well, we will give it another try. Could you please give us some more time?
Она опять вышла из гнезда.
Anton, again, it moved from the socket. It moved away from the socket again.
Я считаю, что это ловить вы будете долго.
Давай, ставь ее.
Okay, now
Везде.
move it there. Move it in. Vladimir, say again. We didn't copy.
Я вижу, что ловить можно ее долго положение, она все время отходит.
Yeah, I can see that it moves away all the time. So maybe we should
Хорошо, в первом
use another approach. Yeah, let's use the white eye.
даю.
Yes, I'm doing that.
То есть она не села, да? Нет.
So it is not there. It is not in the socket now.
Знаешь, что им не дает садиться, Саш? Не знаю.
Do you know what is the reason why the beam is not moving in there? What is it, Anton? Yeah, there is a bolt, and the bolt is in the way. So what can we do? So beam is not the root cause, but the bolt that is in the way. It is an obstruction. Can you see that? So the bolt is in the way of the movement of the beam. That's why the beam cannot go into the socket. So I will secure the retainer back to the KPU and will retrieve the wire tie. Is my camera working, guys? Yes, your camera is working right now, Sasha. And Anton, your camera is not working. Anton's camera is not working. Okay, try it. Touch it. Maybe it will work after that. What about now? This is Anton.
Для истории сделаю GoPro.
Well, let's take a picture with a GoPro for history. Sasha, so what's going on? Are you looking for the wire tie? No, everything is good. I'm securing it right now. Sasha, can you show it a little forward and maybe move it forward with your hand?
Но пока Саша стоит, я попробовал барашки, которые
While
и руками не откручиваются.
Sasha is standing by, I'll try to remove the nuts. And I was trying to do it manually with my hands, and they will not loosen up. So I was trying to move them around, and it just doesn't work.
Ну, которым я сейчас открывал.
Which wrench? The one that I used right now to open and close. Can I use that? No, it's best not to use it. Don't do that. Copy. All right, I see it now. I understand.
Так. Не понял, какая команда?
I did not copy. Which command did you give me, Vladimir?
Команда.
Anton, what was the command?
Попробуй перецепить КПУ.
All right. Let us try to go back to KPU at the work site.
Вот, Саш, видишь, болт стоит.
Do you see the bolt?
Сейчас пока
No, I cannot deal with it right now. Please stand by. Okay. So I need to rehook, and KPU is on me and on the handrail. So then what shall I do? First, pull it forward towards you, and then unhook. In work, Vladimir, do we remove the wire tie later or not? Yes, you do remove it later.
Извините, вопрос.
Understand.
Так, вот.
Are you monitoring my work or the other way? No, I understand you guys are monitoring my work on the ground.
Спасибо.
Oh, thank you.
Так, Саш, я за себя КПУ зацепил.
Sasha, I've attached KPU onto the suit.
Да, на поручне.
So, and the other end is where? On the handrail.
Давай отцепляю.
All right, I'm unhooking it from the handrail. Copy. Good.
Ты где?
Where are you? I'm here.
Да. Ну что, просто...
Working with the white eye. Shall I just release it? Let me move.
Если он у тебя в руке? Да. Зацепи на меня.
All right, now
Так, он тут через что-то...
attach it on my suit.
Держу.
Please hold on. I am holding on.
Зацепил.
Now it's secured. Thank you, dear.
Супруга, да, там? Да.
So now you're trying to work with the wire tie? Yes, I am.
Меня освободил?
Okay, am I free now? I'm not attached? Yes, you are free.
Что, подержать?
All right, please hold on. Just hold on from your side. I'm holding on.
Проволоку завязал, снимал все это.
Okay, I secured the wire tie. It's in place.
Если не доходит, ты...
It doesn't reach there.
И ты видишь, почему?
This is Mission Control Houston at the 2-hour mark into today's spacewalk. Alexander Mazurkin and Anton Shkaplerov are working at the aft end of the Zvezda service module, well into the work to loosen up frames, electrical connectors, and cables holding an electronics box associated with the Lyra high-gain antenna. This box to be removed and replaced with a high-frequency wideband receiver antenna for the high-gain antenna that was launched with Zvezda back in July of 2000. This will upgrade the performance of the telemetry and high data rate capability on the Russian segment of the International Space Station and make it similar to the data rate seen in the U.S. KU-band communication system on the U.S. segment of the station.
Okay, I removed it.
The spacewalk began at 9:34 a.m. Central Time with the opening of the hatch to the Piers docking compartment. The two cosmonauts made their way outside, gathered all of their equipment, moved to the aft end of the service module where they will spend the remainder of today's spacewalk replacing this electronics box. The unit itself weighs about 60 pounds, measures 2 feet by 1.5 feet by 1/2 foot. The old box that was launched with Zvezda back in 2000 will be jettisoned manually, retrograde from the station, from the aft end of the service module with no chance for recontacting the station. A pair of towels the two cosmonauts will use to wipe down each other's suits before they make their way back to the Piers docking compartment airlock will also be jettisoned.
Right, otherwise we just have to drag it here and there, back and forth. And I have a feeling it might want to move somewhere.
This is the 207th spacewalk in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades, the fourth in the career of Alexander Mazurkin. His three previous spacewalks conducted as a member of Expedition 36 in 2013. Coming into today's spacewalk, Mazurkin had accumulated 20 hours and 1 minute of spacewalking time. This is the second spacewalk for Anton Shkaplerov, his only other spacewalk occurring back in 2012 as a member of Expedition 30, 6 hours and 15 minutes on that previous spacewalk.
And I will hold this part. Which one? The one you're holding.
This is the second spacewalk of the year outside the International Space Station, and the second in 10 days, the first occurring back on January 23rd, when Mark Vande Hei and Scott Tingle, NASA flight engineers as part of Expedition 54, made their way outside the Quest airlock to replace a latching end effector on one of the ends of the Canadarm2 robotic arm. That spare latching end effector that was installed by Vande Hei and Tingle back on January 23rd did not respond to initial commanding through a primary communications channel, and consideration was given to undoing the work that they had done on that spacewalk during a second excursion that had been planned for January 29th by Vande Hei and Japanese astronaut Norishige Kanai. However, the Canadian Space Agency's robotics specialists came up with a software patch, an innovative cure to that problem. It was tested last Saturday and will be fully implemented this coming week. That has restored dual redundancy in the communications channels, linking the latching end effector, basically a hand at the end of the robotic arm, one of two identical latching end effectors on either end of the arm, to the rest of the arm itself. The spacewalk planned for January 29th was postponed until February 15th and will be conducted by Vande Hei and Kanai to move inside the Quest airlock with a latching end effector that was removed during a previous spacewalk last October, and to reposition the degraded latching end effector removed on January 23rd to a payload attachment bracket on the mobile base system of the rail car, if you will, on the truss of the International Outpost.
Standing by.
While Shkaplerov and Mazurkin work outside of the International Space Station, the other four crew members are at work, wrapping up their work week on the complex with a variety of scientific activities and maintenance work. The three NASA astronauts on board, Vande Hei, Scott Tingle, and Joe Akaba, joined by Kanai from the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. They're free to move about the complex inside as the spacewalk continues today. Near the end of the spacewalk, Vande Hei and Akaba will work their way into the Poisk module on the space-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station, to which their Soyuz MS-06 return craft is docked. They will be there protectively, as are the flight rules during a Russian EVA. They will be there protectively and isolated in that combination, that
enough?
mated
Yes, I
combination
was
of
able
the
to
Poisk
secure it in place
module and their
now.
Soyuz
Excellent.
vehicle during the repressurization of the Piers docking compartment
And
airlock
the other end
to
onto
provide a
my
backup
suit?
airlock
No.
for
The
Shkaplerov
second
and Mazurkin
point
in
of
the highly
security
unlikely
will
event
be
that
either
a
the pipe
problem would occur repressurizing the
or
piers.
another point on the owner structure. So we just want to make sure that the tether is not loose, but it's secured to some kind of a structural point. So that hook, where can we hook it? Can you see it from a side?
As you can see from this video from a truss camera
can
on the
attach,
station, you can see
you
the
can
feet of
hook
one of the
the hook to a
cosmonauts
cable.
as they work at the aft
No,
end of the
Sasha, let's
Zvezda
not do
service
that.
module.
So
That
let's
Lyra
move
high-gain
lower.
antenna
Do you
that
see
is
it?
the
Yes.
primary focus of today's
Do you see
activities,
that
the replacement of
handrail?
the electronics box
Yes,
associated
just
with that
hook it
high-gain antenna. That work is occurring
there.
right
I've
at
got
the
it.
aft docking
And
port
let me
on the
tighten it up.
Zvezda service
Yes.
module,
And then
which will be the
do you
port of
want
call
the
for the next
short
unpiloted Russian
handrail or the
Progress
circular one?
resupply ship, the
I
ISS
don't see, but
Progress
I'm holding
69,
capo right
that is
now.
scheduled for launch
That's
on
good.
Sunday, February 11th from the Baikonur
Okay,
Cosmodrome
now I've
atop a
tightened it.
Soyuz
It's
booster.
tight.
Our coverage on
That's
NASA
good.
TV scheduled to
You got
begin
it?
at
Yes, I
2:30
do.
a.m.
Now
Central
you
Time for a
hold on
launch at
to capo.
2:58
I am
a.m. Central
holding it.
Time, which will be
All right,
2:58
I'm
p.m. at
rehooking
the
on my
launch site in
side.
Baikonur. The Progress will be sent on a fast-track 2-orbit rendezvous, an expedited rendezvous to test that orbital mechanics and phasing capability for future launches of Russian cargo
That's good.
craft and crew members. The 2-orbit
Shall
rendezvous
I
will
try to tighten it
culminate
up on
with
this
an
side?
automated docking to
I
that
think that's
aft port
enough.
of the
That's
Zvezda
enough
service
time.
module. That docking coverage on the same
Vladimir,
day, Sunday, February 11th, scheduled to begin at 5:30 a.m.
shall we
Central
go to
Time,
the next one?
with docking scheduled at
What
6:24
about
a.m. Central.
handles? No, I was just saying that we will be installing the handle into position 1. Do you give us a go? Yes.
Как-то вы без оптимизма.
Inaudible.
Нет, вот сейчас очень оптимистично.
Yes, now it's tight and secure. I've checked. That's good. Anton, now I should take the handle from the pocket on capo unit onto the hook. That's on the other side. There are 2 handles. Yes, there are 2 handles. I'll give you my red. Shall I take them out? Don't take them out yet. Let's move for the red tether closer. Yes, Vadim. Hello, how are you? Instructions from the Russian side are inaudible. Okay, I've secured it in place.
Все-таки не забывать о том, чтобы передавать ваши операции даже с небольшими периодами отдыха. Так, чтобы
We have a request from the ground
в руках не нарастало. Хорошо?
to keep informing us.
Да, будем стараться.
А общество
We will do our best. And how do you feel, guys?
Хорошо, Владимир Петрович, спасибо.
Vadim, we're doing great. Thank you.
Хорошо. Спасибо.
Good.
Саш, по установке, напоминаю,
Sasha,
соусно пытаться держать резьбу,
while
на 4 кости ее трудно ловить будет.
installing, we're asking you to try to use the threads. Otherwise, in the future, it will be difficult to work with it.
Саш, Сал. Что такое?
What's going on?
Саш, а нам не нужно
Do we
ставить трап и перевести перевести его на 90 градусов.
need to install the range and then turn it to 90 degrees? Yes, we do.
Эту операцию мы делаем после установки ручки, чтобы...
Well, that particular step will be done after we install the handle, so the handle will be in place before we turn it into position 90 degrees.
Может, я прижать?
Shall I put some pressure on it?
Пошло?
Did it move? Super.
Вперед.
Now forward.
Раб, готов, Антон, пожалуйста.
Anton, can you verify that a RAP manual antenna switch is in place? The handle is installed.
Что?
What did you say, Vladimir? We just want to make sure you guys secure the switch in place, but don't tighten too much. Understand? Excellent. That the handle is in place?
Сейчас. 0 на 0. Где тут 0?
And is it important that we align 0 with 0?
Значит, напротив этого.
All right. So let's look where RAP, the manual antenna switch, is secured to, just like this.
There's a good view of that electronics box associated with the Lyra high-gain antenna as Shkaplerov and Mazurkin continue to work in tandem with one another. You're looking at the helmet camera view from Alexander Mazurkin, visible by the number 20 in the lower right-hand corner as the crew prepares to begin the work to demate connectors and other cables associated with that electronics unit that ultimately will be jettisoned retrograde from the aft end of the Zvezda service module.
For some reason, it's loose when I turn it. Is that to be expected? Maybe it didn't catch on. Let's try again. Can it switch when we go to 80 to 90 position? Can there be a loose movement then? Do you see it from my camera how deep the range go in? Because it's just rotating freely. I don't see the exact position, but I have a feeling it should go deeper than it did. At least previously was deeper. All right then. Let me hold it from my side. Let's make sure it's safe. I have a feeling that it goes into place, and then I think it pops up some. So do you see when I put it in, then it pops up? So let me look at RAP manual antenna switch, but there is a switch there.
Переключатель был на самом деле
Sasha,
без усилий.
the switch should be rotating without putting any force.
Но главное,
Can I monitor that somehow?
давай сейчас начнем сначала. Ты поворот на 90 градусов сделал?
So did you translate it by 90 degrees? I have.
Этого ключ вынул, не вращал больше.
And then can you rotate it further or not? No, I did not rotate more and I removed the wrench. I think there is a metallic pin where you put the wrench and there is a dent there. So it was at position 0. Now it's at position 90 degrees. So the dent that I see there has moved. So in plain Russian, I turned the wrench 90 degrees and the switch should have turned 90 degrees. Copy. Guys, stand by. Please take a few minutes to rest.
Хорошо.
Will do.
Ты его крутил? Да, пошел. Сейчас я стараюсь сниму.
So is it back in place? It is.
Так. Давай я.
All right, let me try it.
Ты какие?
Саша,
So which ones have you removed? Two of them.
скажи, пожалуйста,
Sasha,
подтверди еще раз. Ты рад поставил
could you please confirm?
0 на 0, повернул на 90 градусов.
So when you were installing the manual antenna switch wrap, you aligned 0 to 0 and then you turned it 90 degrees. I have, and there was no pressure applied. That's right.
Все подтверждают специалисты.
And I confirm.
90 градусов.
So the specialists on the ground are confirming that it's correct. But how do they confirm that? Based on my words, or they have a telemetry that they can confirm? Well, they
Твоих слов.
confirm based on your words from the experience that that is correct and should be in place. Copy.
Испанка аккуратнее барашков.
So now we take those
Найти.
nuts.
Владимир, как слышно?
Vladimir, how do you read me?
Я вижу, что вы работаете с барашками. Но они после стягивания рук дальше не вращаются?
Yes, you should be working with
Какие там вращаются?
those nuts. Some of them rotate and some of them are not.
Да, значит, судьба такая, да.
Okay, I understand.
Coming up on the 2-hour, 20-minute mark in the spacewalks,
cannot
Gaplarov
see
and
whether they're
Mazurkin
moving
continuing
out or
to
not.
work together as
Anton,
they have completed the locking of the Lyra high-gain antenna into its so-called
So,
launch position,
when
which means
you
it's
are
vertical
done with the nuts,
relative
then
to the aft
please,
end of the
move your
Zvezda
camera
service
again.
module. The next
Just
step
move it.
will be for the two spacewalkers
So we
to
can see and get the
untie
picture.
thermal blankets that cover the electronics box that they will be disconnecting a short time from now and ultimately will be jettisoned in favor of an updated wideband communications electronics
So
box,
the
a newer
nuts
version
are only here. Do
that
we have
will
anything
upgrade
else
the
in place or
communications
not?
and telemetry systems for the Russian segment of the station.
Okay, Sasha, the first nut is out. Copy.
Второй выкрутил.
Second one is out.
Принято.
Copy. The third one is in work. Is it still in place? Yes, I'm working on it.
Нашел? Да.
Did you find it? I have.
Those thermal blankets now have been loosened and untied on the old electronics box.
Let me try it. Then
The
we
next
need to
step
select them
will be
afterwards.
to position
right.
that box in its frame for the start of the demating of a variety of high-frequency and electronic and waveguide transmission
That's the
lines
21st century.
and electrical
Can you believe that?
connectors.
Anton,
Квадратные, ага. Ну, да.
you see the red ones? Yeah, I do.
Все, это все.
That's it. That one is done.
Тут нюанс. Там же металлическая планка, надо их равномерно откручивать.
Right, and it has a metal frame, so we need to remove them evenly. So the number 4, if we remove all the other ones, number 4 will be hard to remove. So let's just loosen them up and then see what happens. We'll do.
Оп. Не уходи.
Don't go far.
Так.
Got it.
Так, верхняя планка снята.
The upper frame is off.
Да, ребята, напоминаем вам,
Guys, a reminder.
планочку ИФТ одну открутили,
So when you remove the
не страны не касаться там.
MLI plate,
Хорошо.
then you'll be using some add-ons to your wrench. Okay, so when you need a wrench, let me know. We'll do.
Пхни меня обратно.
Towards you and then back,
Вот так, да.
just like that. That's it. Stop.
Да, я ключи, тут два вот этих.
Yes, this is the wrench.
The two spacewalkers, 2 hours, 25 minutes into today's excursion, are in the process of securing thermal blankets that covered the old electronics box for the Lyra high-gain antenna at the aft end of the Zvezda service module. The International Space Station is currently flying from southwest to northeast, just to the east of Puerto Rico, moving in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator. The Russian flight controllers at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow report that the crew is running about 25 to 30 minutes behind the timeline. This is a view of the International Space Station Flight Control Room at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow, as the Russian flight controllers watch over the shoulders of Anton Shkaplerov and Alexander Mazurkin well into this second spacewalk outside of the International Outpost for 2018.
Second valve, that's on the left side. If you watch from my camera, it has been removed. Copy. And the lower one is in work using wing nuts. Is your range far away? No, it's right here. Right here. The right valve is removed as well. Copy, Anton. And hold on it carefully. Make sure your hands do not get inside the valve. Is it tight? No. Is the handle secured or removed? Just don't want to break it. It's moving. The one that is closer to me. Is it off its place? Yes, but not enough. I just want to hold on to it right here.
The crew is in the process of using their tools to loosen up this electronics box from the frame that it is housed in at the aft end of the service module as part of the assembly of the Lyra high gain antenna. This then will enable them to gain access to all of the cables and connectors that they have to demate over the course of the next couple of hours of this portion of today's spacewalk. How about like this? That will work.
Я тебе не мешаю?
Am I in your way?
Да, давай я вот это не включу.
I can move a little bit.
Эти готовы. Ага. Так, этот надо сдернуть, нет? Нет, он хорошо.
Is one secured? It is.
Ой. Ага. Осторожно, осторожно.
Be careful. That's metal.
Так, Владимир Григорьевич.
Vladimir,
Клапанные крышки FT мы сняли.
FT flaps, MLI flaps
Спасибо, ребята.
have been removed. The hooks have been removed.
Не за что.
Thank you. Well, that's not all of it yet.
Давайте,
Inaudible.
Давайте пока поговорим, сюда сидел.
Let's continue.
поговорим.
Yeah, let's talk what we are doing next.
Сейчас предлагаем вам работать с узлом фиксации номер 3.
We are proposed to perform restraint number 3.
Стороны волновода внизу.
That is on the bottom.
Да, да. Стоит скажешь, да? Да. Вы имеете в виду поработать конкретнее, поставить туда ручку?
So are you saying that we should work in installing the handle?
Поставить на нижнюю гайку.
We use the lower nuts to install the wave guide.
Давайте. Ага. Понятно. То есть...
So basically the same type of work. We will remove the wave guide.
Начинаем снимать контргалку.
We can begin on that and we'll be holding on the lower one.
Для этого нужно 2 ключа.
And that will take 2 hours.
Совершенно верно. Накидной
No problem.
и специальный.
Хорошо, убирай это туда. Раповский. Я подержать как-нибудь? Не, не надо.
Shall I hold on here? No, that's okay. I removed
Хороший велкро.
what needs to be removed.
А я то достал? Надо достать, да, то.
Do you have the right tool? Yes, the ratchet wrench.
Тут зацепилось, поэтому сейчас давай раскрутим. Сейчас, не.
Let's untangle it first and take a look.
Ага.
All right.
Раповский ключ. Попал в сети. Сейчас подожди. Я раповский беру. Ага.
Ребята, у нас видео, картинка, прокомментируйте.
We have the picture.
Достали спецключ и
We got the wrenches,
трещотку.
the ratchet
Накидной ключ.
wrench, and the overland wrench as well. Anton is taking it out.
Мы ничего не поставили, мы пока достали. Антон, ты сможешь вернуться?
Anton, will you be able to turn around and have it installed, and I will be rotating
Я глядел это там.
to make sure nothing flies away towards the station. Yes.
Мы третий. Вот этот, да.
And I will be working on a third one right here. I copy.
Много лишнего времени потратили. Есть? Есть, да.
Spent a lot of time here.
Так, давай я возьму. Держу.
Let me hold.
Да, задача сложнее.
That is a more complex task.
Дело в том, что... Ага. Конечно, была потоньше. Что говоришь? Давай попробуем.
I will try.
Он силой пойдет, потому что... Да, закрашен.
It will require an effort because of the pain.
This is Mission Control Houston, 2 hours, 38 minutes into today's spacewalk by Russian cosmonauts Alexander Mazurkin, the Expedition 54 commander, and his flight engineer colleague Anton Shkaplerov. They're in the process of loosening the electronics box for the Lyra high gain antenna at the aft end of the Zvezda service module that will position this unit to enable the two cosmonauts to begin the process of demating a number of electrical connections and cables holding that box in place. It will be removed and replaced with an upgraded unit that will provide a wider band, higher data rate telemetry capability for the Russian segment of the International Space Station. The old box to be jettisoned later in today's spacewalk, retrograde from the aft end of the service module. It will not be in a position to recontact the complex.
From the other side. Yes, it has to be turned. I will try to put it on just one nut so far. Okay.
Так.
Okay.
Так, теперь чтобы схватиться, чтобы не сбить.
Have to hold on to something to make sure.
А? Ноги мои в другую сторону улетают, да? Гайка пока никуда не идет.
I don't think the nut is moving.
Кажется, сошла. Так.
Or maybe it did move.
Тебе просто крестик пальцем продержать. Не-не. Крестик вот этот, да. Ага.
Hold on to this area.
Тогда давай. Нет. Ты отключишь? Да.
Still no success.
У меня не хватает сил держать.
I should let it go.
Нормально, да?
Is it sitting insecure? Yes, it is. You can let it go.
Не достает. Сейчас все будет.
We'll manage.
Так легко пошла.
Moving easily now.
Идет же? Не видно?
It's moving?
Так не видно.
No, I can see.
Так, давай я. Обратно, видишь?
Now the opposite way. It's moving easily, rotating easily.
Держу. Нижнюю часть.
Hold on to the lower part of the wing nut.
Нам нужно с тобой откручивать.
We'll have to open it, unscrew.
Бери вот так и крути. Ну, давай я.
Maybe I can move.
Так. Сейчас мы с тобой намотаем там долду. Так, ну он почти открутился, видишь?
I think it's almost out.
Пальцем все будет. Да, подержи, я попробую.
Can you hold it?
Я-то рядом.
I'm close, I can do it.
Ну, откручивается.
It is getting out.
Откручивается?
Is it?
Хорошо, дошли до... Так, нам надо все выкрутить.
Are we supposed to pull them out completely?
Перепутался. Владимир Григорьевич,
Vladimir,
контргайку на третьем месте докрутили до края.
the nut is to the brim.
Хорошо, сейчас надо
In place 3.
уложить крузбэк.
Now you have pre-store it.
Нету сейчас от вас
We
никакого.
don't have a picture now.
Приняли, картинки у вас нет, гайку надо снять и уложить в трэшбэк.
Okay, we'll put the nut in a trash bag. And I have it in my hand.
Трэшбэк у тебя в руках, да?
So you are holding the trash bag? Yes.
Да. Сюда, смотри. Оп. Не, я хотел как раз засунуть, чтобы он там остался.
I just wanted to pull it in
Да,
so that it will stay in the bag.
все. Я думал, ты уже с гайкой.
Okay, I
Я поставлю обратно. Хорошо.
I thought it was in place. Let me hold it one more time.
Запутается, потом не распутает. Хорошо. Почему она слезла?
Okay, let it be. That's it?
Отпускается пол? Да.
I let the bundle go, right? Yes.
Ты его пока готовишь, да? Угу.
And you'll prepare the next step.
Ключ подать?
Shall I give you the range? Yes, Anton.
Ага, это он. Да-да.
Here it is.
Нет, это надо обратно. Обратно, прости, пожалуйста, да. Ну. Сейчас, давай я подержу.
No, this one has to go back. I will hold on to the
Все, беру ключ.
KPU bundle.
Отпуталась, да. Взял? Да, взял.
I have it. Just needs to be untangled.
Там тебе помочь что-то? Не, это я распутал.
Do you need an assist? No, I have it untangled.
И обратно найдем. Да. Так.
It will fit in back.
Что здесь? Я?
Саша, если разъединить спецключ и трещотку, их потом трудно будет соединять, да?
Антон, подержи голову.
Inaudible.
Разъединил.
Separated.
Стал на конце вот как раз краской, это тоже не дает. Да. Надо было оставить.
There is a paint in the end that is not allowing to move further.
Краска на них.
Yes.
Антон, оп, и держи. Так можно прямо и. Нет. Так, я их держать. Ключ держи. Держу.
I have the handle.
Так. Ты можешь на всю глубину подсадить, он уже гайку, а то волну не заденет.
You can put the nut deeper inside.
Все, он уже пальцем стелит. Так. Скажи, пожалуйста, ты рыжий родом далеко? Сейчас?
Do you have
На месте.
ratchet range connected?
Нет, я уперся. Оп. Я тебя откинул, да? Маленько.
Did I push you back away? I'm sorry.
Ну? Рыбак готов. Принял.
Raise it
Пока не
to
выкручивай.
receive it. It's not getting out yet.
надо было спросить у Владимира Алексеевича про гайки.
Inaudible.
Что про гайки?
We should have asked about the washers. That will be the same as a block.
Оп, извини.
Sorry.
Это... Складываю. Хорошо. Уложил.
I am putting it in together. Yes.
Так, давай туда. Дальнейшее скручиваем основную гайку.
Now we are unscrewing the next nut till the end. Till the end, taking it off.
Давай, соберу ключ.
Let me get the wrench. Here it is.
Главное хорошо поставить. Не встал еще до конца.
As long as we set it up right.
Есть, пошла.
It's moving.
Не придерживай, да? Или раскрыть его.
Shall I open it? Shall I hold on to it? Just hold the wrench. Hold it.
This view from the helmet camera of Expedition 54 Commander Alexander Mazurkin, working with Anton Shkaplerov to loosen the old electronics unit for the Lyra high-gain antenna at the aft end of the Zvezda service module. This will expose the connectors and cables and waveguide transmission lines for that electronics box that enable its operation for the Lyra high-gain antenna to provide telemetry for the Russian segment of the station. This box, launched with the original, in its original configuration with the Zvezda service module in July of 2000, is being replaced today as the objective of this spacewalk with a brand new unit that will upgrade the high data rate and wideband communications capability for the Russian segment. The International Space Station is currently flying 252 miles over Turkmenistan, moving from northwest to southeast in an orbit inclined 51.6 degrees to either side of the equator.
Inaudible.
We're in a short handover here between communications satellites on the tracking and data relay satellite system. The spacewalk approaching the 3-hour mark, a planned 6.5-hour spacewalk. The two cosmonauts, when they get to the point of demating electrical connectors and cables, will be working on a series of steps that will enable them to free the electronics box from its frame and then ultimately jettison it retrograde from the aft end of the service module.
One more time, checking my position.
Что? На раскрутке. А, точно. Фокус не удался.
We should not shake it. Wire tie is here. I wish we had a magnet. That's true. Got it.
Взял. Сейчас вот не берут. Давай. Ты поставь, а я пальцем ее просто.
So you put it in place, and I will hold on to it with my finger right here.
Подай мой палец.
Yes. Looking good. So the main nut is removed and the washer on the third position.
Принято, ребята.
Copy, guys.
Молодцы, это большое
Владимир
дело.
Григорьевич, как принято?
Vladimir, how copy? That is, I mean, you did well.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Следующий.
What's next?
Следующая работа у нас будет установить вторую ручку на этот узел.
Now we have to install the handle on this unit.
Так. Второй? Да, второй.
The second handle to the unit, yes.
Если ты сможешь ее на себя застраховать,
If you can secure it to yourself, I mean the handle, and then give it to me, then I will be rotating it. Let me check.
тебе подержать? Давай я подержу. Давай я подержу КПУ.
I can hold the KPU bundle.
А что? Тебя смущает? Или в принципе она же на рете?
Or it is already secured with red or nearby.
Что такое? Рэты заняты. Моя...
The reds are occupied.
Что твоя? Крува бэк, потом...
I have a screw bag and everything. Okay, I can use my red tether.
Под ручку. Ага.
Here it is. I thought that you were looking for the better position. You will just move aside. I'm holding this with my big red. Can you just use your left hand to take it over? Copy. I'm holding the KPU right now. So I retrieved it. Good. Stand by one. Now retrieve it from the other one. Let me do that. Okay, I removed it and retrieving the handle. So it came out. If you want
the two cosmonaut spacewalkers have loosened the old electronics box for the Lyra high-gain antenna from its assembly frame,
yes,
and soon we'll press ahead to begin the process of demating a series of electrical connectors.
So the first half turn. Stand by one. Can you hold me like this? Yes.
Кажется, пошла.
I think it is moving. I agree.
Ты лучший придерживатель во Вселенной, Антон Николаевич. Все, чем могу.
Anton, hold it tighter. You know, I do what I can.
Кружка стоит, хорошо?
Inaudible.
Больше не затягивай. Все.
Don't pull it more.
Ручку установили,
So
можно снимать
the
с red.
handle is installed, so it can be removed from red. Is this the correct understanding, Vladimir? Yes, you can remove the red tether.
Продолжаем разговор.
So we continue our conversation. Okay, guys, take some rest. So the next unit, I will give you some recommendations. So the next unit is inaudible. And you do it very similarly, you know, like you did with the unit number 3. So work with the nuts as before.
Понятно.
Copy. And then you will remove the handle from the first unit and will install it to the newly installed unit.
Давай, Антош.
Go ahead, Anton.
Саша, Антон.
Sasha, Anton.
Да.
Go ahead, Moscow.
Вы миновали рубеж 3 часа, уже 3 часа, 1 минута 40 секунд.
You know, 3 hours have passed since the start of the EVA.
О чем это нам говорит?
So,
Если...
what does it tell us?
Говорит, сколько времени
А там сколько времени потребовалось?
So,
Да, понятно.
time-wise, you know, how much time we spent on the handle installation. Well, the most important thing that we install the handle.
Вот так.
Here you go.
Так, прижмешь пальчиком?
Will you hold it with your
Молодец.
glove finger? Yes, well done.
Ай-яй. Попробуешь прижать, чтобы там даже краска начинается, наверное. Угу.
Try to hold it here, okay?
Давай штуку проверим. О, еще. Нормально.
Let's
Угу.
test it.
Прижал? Да?
Yes, I think it's fine.
Да, ниточка выматывается.
Inaudible.
Да, попробуй так.
I will try it this way.
Так, низко. Вот, всё. Ой, нормально, нормально.
This is fine.
Самый раз.
This is just fine.
Хорошая была идея слушать.
You know, it was a good idea with the handles, actually. Very good idea.
Угу. Нет, не стало. Давай попробуем с этим ключом.
Let's try with this wrench. Hold this wrench.
Держи ключ.
Hold this wrench, Anton.
Держи. Да.
Are you holding it? Yes.
Я имею в виду. Сейчас. Хочешь отстегнуть его? Да. Давай. Ага.
Go ahead. Try it.
Плавать. Так, а у нас трэшбэк-то далеко? Ну да.
What about trash bag? Is it very far away?
Ну, в общем, если ты можешь ее подготовить.
If you can prepare it, that would be fine.
Ты что хочешь сделать?
What do you want to do?
Пойди взять.
Go and get it?
Трэшбэк возьмешь? Далеко.
Maybe you will also retrieve the inaudible. It is too far away.
Давай я попробую, мне удобнее.
Let me try to do this because I'm in a better position.
Так, отдал.
Okay, so I
Подержать голову твою.
pushed it. Should I help you here?
Уложил. Красавец.
Well, it is well done. It is ready.
Владимир Григорьевич,
Vladimir Grigorich,
снимаем основную гайку на втором узле.
are we removing the main nut on the second fixture unit? Yes, and don't forget the washer, guys. It's a go.
Принял.
Copy.
Снимаем основную
In
гайку
work.
второго узла.
We are removing the main nut from the second fixture unit.
То есть отпускай.
Let it go.
Извини. Сорвал? Дорога.
Second, yes, second unit.
Давай я подлезу, ты сам уберешь.
Okay, let me try from this side.
В одном месте. Держу.
I'm holding it here in this place.
Говори. Возьмешь, Антон?
Will you take this, Anton? Yes, I'm holding it. Holding it.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're 3 hours, 11
we
minutes
can
into
notice
today's
there. Yes,
spacewalk.
thank you.
This is the 207th spacewalk in support of space station assembly and maintenance, as well as upgrades that started back
will try
in
it with my
December of 1998 with the first spacewalks conducted by
Unintelligible.
Jerry Ross and Jim Newman on the STS-88 mission to mate the Zarya module with the Unity module that was carried up aboard the shuttle Endeavour. This spacewalk by the Russian cosmonauts is the 54th that Russian cosmonauts have conducted on the International Space Station, the 44th spacewalk conducted out of the Pirs docking compartment itself. The cosmonauts are still in the process of loosening and securing the electronics box that is being removed from the Lyra high-gain antenna from its frame. This is called an instrumentation assembly frame. Once that's complete, they'll begin the process of demating a series of electrical connectors, waveguide transmission lines, and plates that hold this electronics box to the antenna boom itself and its 1.5 meter dish. A new electronics box that contains upgraded electronics to be utilized for new wideband communications capabilities similar to the US Ku-band communication system will be installed instead, and the old box will be jettisoned retrograde from the aft end of the Zvezda service module.
I have to go a little bit lower.
The International Space Station is currently approaching the west coast of Australia, moving from northwest to southeast in an orbit that will carry it just south of Tasmania and across the southern Pacific Ocean.
I have it.
Я, наверное, дойду. Если ты хочешь перехватить.
So you want to take it over? I have it. Remove the washer. In work.
Тебя подтолкнуть?
Should I push you a little bit? No, I don't need it.
This is the view from the helmet camera from Expedition 54 Commander Alexander Mazurkin. You're looking right at the electronics box that he and Shkaplerov are removing from its frame at the Lyra high gain antenna.
Так, гайка основная.
The main night.
This is the fourth spacewalk in the career of Alexander Mazurkin. The other three conducted back in 2013 when he was a member of Expedition 36. Anton Shkaplerov in his second spacewalk, the first conducted 5.5 years ago
Is it okay?
in 2012 during
Wonderful,
Expedition 30.
Well,
Alexander
let me do it,
Mazurkin just weeks
yes,
away
go
from
ahead.
returning to Earth with NASA flight engineers Joe Acaba and Mark Vande Hei to wrap up a 5.5-month mission on the International Space Station. Their landing scheduled for 8:31 p.m. Central Time on the night of February 27th, which would be 8:31 a.m. Kazakhstan time, just to the southeast of the town of Zhezkazgan.
Okay.
И пальцы.
Unintelligible.
Вот. Вот. Да, давай.
Yes, go ahead.
The next spacewalk on the schedule for International Space Station crew members coming up on February 15th as Mark Vande Hei ventures outside with Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency flight engineer Norishige Kanai for a planned 6.5-hour spacewalk to complete the work in the swap of latching end effectors on the Canadarm2 robotic arm. The two crew members will move out of the Quest airlock on the U.S. side of the International Space Station to detach a latching end effector that was removed from the arm itself back in October and which has resided on a payload attachment device on the mobile base system of the International Space Station. They'll bring that inside the Quest airlock. It will be returned to Earth for servicing and to be reflown on a SpaceX Dragon cargo craft. They also will relocate the degraded latching end effector that was removed by Vande Hei and Scott Tingle during their January 23rd spacewalk, and which has been temporarily parked on a stowage spare parts platform right outside Quest. That will move onto that payload attachment device on the mobile base system to be used as a usable spare in the future if need be.
Снял ручку с первого.
Remove the handle from the first unit.
Стараюсь занять позицию для установки ее на вторую.
And we'll try to install it on the second. For this, I will have to change my position. Copy.
Антош. А? Ты меня чуть-чуть придержишь?
Anton, can you hold me a little bit here? Yes, of course.
Или пусть летает. А? Или пусть летает. Так. Ты хочешь ставить, правильно понял? Абсолютно.
So,
Если ты меня сможешь чуть-чуть...
could you please hold me here, Anton, so that I can install the handle? Yes, like this.
Попробуем.
Let's try.
Я опять перехвачу.
Okay, let me take over here.
Так нормально или...
Is it okay, Sasha?
Если ты так сможешь...
Yes, if you can hold me like this for a while, it will be fine. Copy.
Вертикально так нет.
No, it is not working like this.
Под этим поближе, Михайлович.
Okay, let me hold a little bit better here.
Еще раз.
Once again.
Там сам справишься или тебе держать? Справлюсь.
So will you manage or shall I assist you? I will manage. Thank you.
Значит, я на четвертой контрагайку практически открутил.
Okay, on the fourth one, I practically retorqued and removed the lock nut. Should I remove it? Yes, the lock nut should be removed. Copy.
Так, снял, выкладываю трэш-бэк.
Okay, so I removed it and now I'm putting it into the trash bag. Copy.
Положил.
It is in the trash bag.
Молодец, спасибо.
Good work. Well done. Thank you.
Значит, а основную гайку мы полностью не выкрутим.
And the main gut in the fourth location is not removed completely.
До конца шпильки я оставляю.
Yes, it is left on the stud. Copy.
Раз.
Sasha,
Да.
this is Anton. Go ahead.
Не получается?
Канал посоветуйте.
Давайте.
Okay, guys,
Если
I wanted your advice.
ручку ставить,
Сейчас.
может быть, можно ей не заниматься.
If it is hard to install handle right now, maybe you can just defer this and do something else.
Я как раз нашел положение.
Well, you know, but I have just now found the correct position for this, and I will give it another try.
Нет, Антош, спасибо. Если ты можешь ее просто придержать,
Anton, if you can hold it a little bit, then I will try to install it. Okay, let me find a better position for that. I can do it from upwards.
держи. Да.
Are you holding it? Yes, I am holding it.
Пускай. Пускай.
Let it go now.
Держи.
I am holding it.
Сейчас.
Stand by one.
Пускай.
Now let it go.
Держи.
Now hold it. Now let it go.
Отпускай.
Let it go, Anton.
Думаешь, закручивается?
Well,
Пока нет.
is it talking? Is it rotating? Not yet.
Веревкой помешай. Ну-ка дай. Я возьму сюда. Здесь тебя придержать за голову.
So should I hold your helmet here?
Ну, какая? Не поддается.
It wouldn't go.
Я попробую. Извини. Нормально.
How is it? It's okay? It
Она очень капризная.
wouldn't go in. Yes, it is very capricious.
Должно хорошо со второго отверстия. По шпильке.
Unintelligible.
Что если нам попробовать?
Okay, let me try it this way. Do you know how to do it? Can you hold my legs? Of course. Yeah, hold my legs.
Где твои ноги? Ну, я сейчас развернусь.
All right, let me rotate so my feet will be towards you, Sasha.
Тот случай, когда попробуем MUT.
Maybe I can try it the other way.
Да, ради одного ручки. Да, вернусь.
Yes.
Так,
Are you holding on? I am.
прекрасно.
Just like this. Perfect. Hold it.
Я буду MUT. Ничего? Будь. Хорошо. Только я уехал.
Close to MUT. Is that okay?
Я на месте.
That's fine, but I just floated away a little bit. No, you're in place. You're fine.
Да, вы были правы, с MUT уже.
You were right. This way it worked.
Спасибо тебе, дорогой MUT. Старался.
Thank you so much. I did my best. I really tried.
Approach